My goal has always been to bring technology into medicine and improve the way we practice medicine through technology. I was looking at screening for stroke and heart attack. We developed a test where we would take an MRI picture of you, and 90% of the people who had this marker that we detected would go on to have a stroke or a heart attack. Really, I thought we'd revolutionize the world. Here we are 8-9 years later, and people are still having these strokes and heart attacks because we developed this technology on a machine that very few people have access to. Really focused me on looking at smaller, more mobile technologies that are more accessible, that we can disseminate this type of information to more readily.
I was actually slated to be a burn surgeon. Unfortunately, the job that was available, the funding dried up. I was very lucky that my current boss and chief at St. Michael's Hospital hired me as a person to reconstruct chronic wounds. People who have chronic tissue injury or chronic wounds are people who have pressure sores, diabetics who get foot ulcers, people who have difficulty with their veins. There's lots of problems that exist when a wound won't heal, and that's essentially what a chronic wound is. I realized there's a lot of limitations to what people can do in their own home and what they can see with their own eyes. In fact, most people don't really even understand what they're supposed to look for. Now I have these huge pieces of technology that I'm developing, thinking to the problem of, well, how do we bring these large pieces of technology not only into the acute care setting, but how do we make them small enough so that they're portable so everyone can use it in the hospital? And then the next step of how do we make it portable enough so people can have them in their own homes? And that's where I met General. 3 coffees later, we had a plan on how we were going to scale these technologies to make them about the size of your palm, how we were going to fix the algorithms so that it could do it properly, not just in a hospital environment, but in a patient environment. And 18 months later, we have a device that's going to be commercially available.
We're really on the cusp of that sort of landslide moment where medical imaging will tell us what's going to happen to you in the future.
Currently in this space, all we have in terms of technology is a paper ruler to measure wound size over time. And it could be days and months before you actually know if your interventions are working or not. MIMOSA is the only group that's measuring tissue physiology, as well as that signature molecule that predicts outcome and is able to make a device for the consumer. We're able to take something from a huge piece of technology to this small device.
It's not just a bunch of engineers sitting in a room trying to come up with hammers for nails that don't exist. We know what the nail is, and we've got someone eagerly waiting for that hammer.